What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first ever map guides. Today we're going to start with the very first one, Righteous Stand. We're going to go over pretty much everything. So as you start the map, if you go to your right, there will almost always be a potion right there, but not always. There was not in this run. If you continue straight on, there's actually a chest back here. A lot of people skip this one. Sometimes there's some stuff back there. Always check that. You can proceed to your right, bank a left, and there's usually some stuff there as well. You will then be met by a set of stairs. Go up them. There's usually some healing, sometimes some bombs. And you're faced with two ways to go, left or right. I like to go to the right, because everybody goes to the left, and I'm a contrarian. But there's usually, maybe some ammo, a barrel, and then if you go to your right, there's another chest. Usually has some potions in it, sometimes some healing. This time it had a speed potion and a bomb. You go up the ladder, ravage dart sometimes. Proceed on, and that's a drop point for specials right behind that cart there. Continue on, and up on that cart is actually the very first tome of the map. This drop down is a pretty good place to hold if there's a horde spawn. To the left there's a chest. Sometimes stuff in it, sometimes not. This is also a monster spawn. As you can see, we triggered it in this run. And we got a rat ogre. It's a pretty tight area to fight here, so just try to stick together and kill the monster. Continue up the stairs, and there's lots of healing in this room. Pretty good place to patch yourself up. The next area is kind of a mini little event thing. It's a big circular area. It's a big arena, and when you trigger the cutlass, as it's called, a bunch of specials will come after you. I find it useful to clear out all the ambience before you trigger the event. Just kind of helps you get into position. When you do push the cutlass, there will be these two gates on each side, and these are where the little hordes will spawn from. So for the first one, I actually like to get in here a lot of the time and just kind of take out the horde. After you do that, try to take out the specials, which will drop from above. If you see a special, first thing you should do, I always think, is just to tag it. Even before you shoot it, you should tag it, just so everybody knows where it is, in case you miss or something. There'll be Blightstormers, Rattling Gunners, Assassins, Hook Rats, you name it. It'll probably try to kill you. Most people will hold on these steps here, which is a pretty good spot. A spot I like. As there will be pretty much endless ammunition there, good for killing specials. As you can see, lots of assassins, lots of hook rats. You can actually hop on the ammo chest and jump over the gate before it's all the way down. But I normally would not attempt this with randoms, as they almost never know that they can do this. And will usually get gassed at the end of the map. Oh yeah, and I forgot, a gas track can spawn behind you in the lift. Don't ask me why. Seems weird, I know. Once your party's in the lift, ride it up to the top and immediately proceed all the way to your right. There's a door with another chest. It usually has some healing, maybe a potion. If you, in the event you find a fire barrel in there, light it and throw it right into the little window here, because the rest of the horde from below will always spawn. Always try to climb up out that window. You'll usually find a fair amount of elites in the next room, It's a good idea to wait in front of this door to kill them. It kind of makes them funnel up and funnel together. Makes them a little easier to kill. You do have to contend with that little door, but the fire barrel is quite helpful for that. Enemies will drop on you from above, so kind of watch out for that. And if you go to the right here on this little bench and above this little fire, you can actually skip the little bridge part and kind of just jump over. It's a little bit faster. Just keep in mind things will be spawning on you. If you want to go the other way, there usually is some potions under that little underpass area. So, your choice. There'll always be a barrel right before the drop down for the first grim. So go down there, hop to the left, hop to the right, and then you have the first grim. Quickly make your way back. You do have to run all the way around. Just kind of sucks, but you can do your little jump shortcut, as you see. Perfect. If you have a character with a dash, it's not a bad idea to use it to catch up to your team sometimes, especially if it has short cooldown like Foot Knight does. Sometimes there's some stuff to the right here. There was not in this run. As you can see, we got a horde spawn. And doors are narrow areas, and doors are kind of your friend when there's hordes. It's a good idea to hold in front of them or behind them, kind of make the horde funnel up, makes them easier to kill. Because they have to bunch up to come at you, you can hit more of them at once. As you can see, one character can just hold the door, and everyone else can deal with the drop downs. And this map has a chest to the right past the door, usually has a healing item or two in it. And there are a couple spawns for enemies here. I like to usually just stay against the wall or back with the team. I enjoy guarding doors. It's quite fun. Proceed up the stairs, and to the right here, sometimes there's some ammo. Occasionally a bomb or something like that. Then you kind of go outside here in this little area. And to the left, there's kind of these little arches. And this big underpass. And there's usually a couple healing items, a couple potions under there. Make sure to watch out for assassins. Wet magic of the past. And again, more stuff to the left. A chest. Chests always have a chance for a loot die. This is also a patrol spawn. Do not trigger it, usually. Unless you really want to. Sometimes it's unavoidable with randoms, as you can see. If you do get a spawn before this door, obviously it's a good idea to kind of hold in front of the door, make the enemies funnel. Makes them easier to kill, especially if you have beastmen. As beastmen are a bit of a challenge for most people, including myself sometimes. On Legend, usually when you get a horde from the front, you'll usually get a horde from behind, pretty much once you've killed the horde from the front. So it's always a good idea to kind of turn around and just, look and check out what you've got. Don't be like Unchained Bot here and stand in the fire. You will overheat and die. God damn it, I ranked you A tier. Fucker. Chance for a potion right there. And this next area has actually a second tome, but it's also a chance for a monster spawn. So I'll pause it real quick. You see that little ramp that goes up there? If you follow that up and go all the way to wall and drop down. There's your second tome. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. As you can see, we got distracted by a bile troll, followed by a series of unfortunate events. Was not so great. You ever try to fight a troll in a 5-foot drop down area? It's not fun. Doesn't work out so good usually. So we really thought we had the best of them. As you can see, we're getting them down, whatever, but oh shit, Blightstormer. So I kind of made a split-second decision to not die, unlike the rest of my team. So the minute you drop down, there will be lots of specials, and a Chainbot apparently can't deal with fire rats. So there goes that tome. That's a respawn point for your dead allies. Welcome back. The elf actually stayed. Just pretty cool. The dwarf did not. Although the elf shot me, I kind of wish the dwarf did stay. So if you proceed, there'll always be an ammo crate hanging on that little platform right there. A lot of the time there'll be a healing pack where I just picked it up, as well as one under the little ramp here. This is also the area where we get the second Grim. In the event that you get overwhelmed in this area, it's a good idea to back yourself up into a corner and try to fight everything off. As you can see, that's what we did. In panic situations, I like to eliminate threats from behind if I can. So even though it limits my movement, backing up against the wall is usually a pretty decent way to do that. So the way to get the second Grim is this. You jump across these doors and these little wooden platforms, kind of crouch underneath the little window. There will be a lever, which Elf pushed. It'll drop down a ladder. You jump to it, climb it up, and there's your second Grim. Now if you get a horde spawn during this, it's honestly not a bad idea to just stay up there and deal with the horde. The horde will climb up to you. Drop downs and high up areas where enemies have to climb to get you are your friend, because when enemies are in a climbing animation, you actually do more damage to them because it automatically puts them in a state of stagger 3. So say if you have like mainstay and an enemy is climbing, you will actually be doing 60% more damage to them when they're in that climbing animation. So it's quite nice. So as you can see, we just chilled up here. Even with a gas rat, we just kind of chilled up here to deal with the horde. A couple specials came at us. Not much of an issue. So we've located the first 2 tomes and the first 2 Grims. There's usually some stuff to the right over there, whether it be ammo, potions, bombs, whatever. Wait for your team. There's usually ammo over there as well, sometimes a bomb. And this is another drop down. If there were a horde, you would not drop down until the horde was over, usually. So then I'd be faced with a couple ambient elites and a lot more specials. It's a good idea to kind of just, if you're a team, just kind of stop running and just kind of, pick an area and deal with the specials, because if you keep moving and ignore the specials, they're gonna catch up to you eventually, like an elf's arrow in my butt, and it will hurt you. Ravage dart right there sometimes on that little pile of stone. And this little hole back here is actually where the third tome is. And we're now at the church where the end event is. There's a bunch of healing and ammo right before the event. Usually a horde will spawn. There's always a chaos warrior up here. So just be mindful of that. Not an issue for Foot Knight as he can knock them over. But like an elf's ultimate to my back, they can hurt sometimes. And what spawns in front must spawn in back, at least on Legend. And make sure, always check behind you for an extra horde coming at you. So you enter the church. This is where the end event will begin. You ring the bell to start it. There's a couple spots where you can hold up there on that platform. Under that archway or under that archway are pretty decent. But what I personally like the most is way in the back here. This little tarped couple of boxes and barrels right here. One person gets up there, usually a ranged class, and they just kind of shoot the specials. They can't take care of everything else behind you and afar and whatnot. And then the rest of you just deal with like the horde, the elites. The majority of specials will spawn behind you, but like an elf's arrow into the back of your head. Sometimes they get you. Once you hear that noise, that means that statue has started to rise. And when it's fully risen, the game will end and you will win. So it becomes a waiting game. Just make sure you don't get grabbed by any of the specials. Or thumped by any of the elites. And if you ever have trouble avoiding leeches like that elf just did, if you hear them spawn, and you don't know where it is, count 1, 2 in your head, and then just dodge. Doesn't matter where, as long as you dodge. In the event that a leech targets you, you'll be able to dodge it. You just gotta count to 2 and then dodge it. It's pretty simple. Sometimes they grab you from really far away, so if you don't know where he is, it's not a bad idea to do that. And when you start to hear that holy music, it means you're seconds away from winning. And everything is killed by the might of Sigmar. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Righteous Stand. All the books, tricks and tips. Hope you found this somewhat insightful, somewhat useful. And that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you really want to. Join my Discord. We got a lot of people in there. We're almost 450 people in there, actually. It's quite a bit. Yeah, check us out.